Worst episode ever time. Mayberry, North Carolina, land of the moral lessons, apple pie, and folksy charm. But every now and then, the train to Wholesomeville makes an unscheduled stop at Cringe Station, even in the black and white episodes. And that stop is going to pick up Aunt B. Strap in. This is one of those episodes where the laugh track might as well be a slow clap. Yeah, I know I already covered the absolute worst Andy Griffith Show episode ever. Of course, it was one of the color ones. I'll link to it at the end. But in the comments, I kept seeing the same thing. All the color ones were terrible. And that might be true. So see, I was thinking. I decided to find the worst episode in black and white. But then I ran into another problem. Seems the lowest rated black and white episode was also the last black and white episode. Banjo Playing Deputy. Yeah, the one with Jerry Van Dyke leaving the carnival to become Andy's deputy. I got to thinking, poor Jerry Van Dyke. He appears in so many worst episodes. Mary Tyler Moore, The Dick Van Dyke Show, Coach. Anyway, probably others too. So I bypassed that one. And boy, did I find the good one. Has Aunt B all over it. I can explain. Paul here, working actor and former radio host, which basically means I talk about bad TV episodes with a fancy microphone. Now, before Aunt B's fan club starts sharpening their pitchforks, hear me out on this, all right? It's not all her fault, probably. So let's unpack the awkward picnic basket, shall we? It's Season 5, Episode 5, and it's called Aunt B's Romance. Aired October 19, 1964. In one of his final TV appearances, Wallace Ford guest stars in it. He comes in like a Catskills comic who missed the bus to Vegas. IMDb has this one rated at a 7 out of 10 stars, which I know isn't bad, but for the Andy Griffith Show, maybe it is. So the episode opens with Aunt B getting a letter from Roger Hanover, her old boyfriend, saying he's passing through Mayberry. She's flustered, fluttery, practically glowing like she just found a new pickle recipe. I think she might have been giddy, too. Andy and Opie, well, they give their polite, aw, that's cute faces. Then Roger shows up and immediately starts working the room like he's auditioning for a mid-century Borscht Belt review. He's loud, he's jokey. He's the kind of house guest who thinks that everyone wants to hear about the good old days, even when no one asked. Yeah, he crashes in on their quiet home life, cracks terrible jokes, pulls childish pranks, and turns Aunt B's warm, cozy house into a sideshow. It's like the writers decided Mayberry needed a con man uncle who smells faintly of mothballs and cheap whiskey. Eventually, the real reason for his visit comes out. Roger hints he might stick around, maybe even marry Aunt B. Right. Unless Andy gives him some cash to move on to Florida. Solid plan. But Andy, being Andy, doesn't bite. He calls Roger's bluff. Roger pouts, packs up, leaves town, presumably to annoy some other poor family down south. Aunt B is even happy to see the 6:15 to Tallahassee roll out of town. Roll the credits, order restored. Not a single person sheds a tear. Hey, before we dig into why the IMDb voters nipped this episode in the bud, do me a favor. Hit that like button, ring the bell so you don't miss the next takedown, and subscribe if you haven't already. You know, Mayberry might forgive easily, but the algorithm sure doesn't. Okay, all right, so why did fans drag Aunt B's romance into the cellar? Number one, tone pivot. Mayberry thrives on gentle humor, moral lessons. Roger comes in like a human whoopee cushion with a superiority complex. It's a bit jarring. Number two, the guest star problem. Now, Wallace Ford is a talented old-school actor, but here, he's just kind of annoying. Not charming rogue annoying, just uncle that won't leave annoying. And that smell. Number three, you guessed it, no Barney. Yeah, Don Knotts, well, he's credited, but doesn't actually appear in the episode, which means this thing was running on half power from the get-go. I mean, you take Barney out of Mayberry and suddenly the charm to cringe ratio goes off like a bad coleslaw at a church social. I should probably do a worst episode that had Barney in it. That might be interesting. What do you think? Number four, the resolution is a wet noodle. Roger shows up, causes chaos, gets called out, leaves. No clever twist, just a comment shuffling off like, well, that didn't work. It wasn't a good feel-good ending. So, is this the absolute worst black and white Andy Griffith episode ever? I think it might be. It's like watching your sweet aunt get catfished by a guy who thinks vaudeville never died. That's why IMDb voters gave it the cold shoulder, and honestly, I get it. It's a filler episode with a loud guest star, no Barney, and a plot that evaporates like pond water in July. Hey, if you like this roast, smash that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments. Did Roger make you laugh? Or did you just want to yeet him out of Mayberry? That's what the kids say, right? All right, look, this is Paul, and here's that other Andy Griffith Show. I promised, the other bad one, and you know what? I think Aunt B should have stuck to her butter and eggs, man. That didn't sound good.